Hi, I'll be talking about quadratics factoring trinomials with the leading coefficient is not different than 1. In this case, it's 4. Now, if you missed my previous videos, I talked about the quadratic formula. Any trinomials that we have, we can actually solve with this formula. Often cases we can break down a trinomial with the constant multiplying to 12 and multiplying to 12 and adding to 7. But for this to work, the leading coefficient must be 1. X squared is the leading multiplier. So in this case, it's 1. What if it's not what if it's not 1, and what if it's different than 1? Now in this case, we have the question 4x squared minus 3x equals to 1. Now the first thing we need to do is multiply the leading coefficient and the constant, which is minus 4. Now from here on, we will look at numbers that will multiply to negative 4 and add up to negative 3. The only possible option here is negative 4 and 1. They will multiply to negative 4, and then they will add minus 4 plus 1 equals to negative 3. So here are our options. Now, using these numbers, we will have to break down the 3x into two parts. The first leading x squared, 4x squared, will stay the same, but we will have to rewrite this as, let me use a different color here. This will be minus 4x plus 1x. And again, these are coming from the factoring of these two numbers where we chose minus 4 multiplying to two numbers that multiply to negative 4 and add up to negative 3. The rest of the question will stay the same. Negative 1 equals 0. Now we will try to regroup these two, minus 4x squared minus 4x, and 1x, or x minus 1. Let's try to create a parentheses where we use the common multipliers, which is 4x for these two. And I'm going to open a parentheses, and I'm going to write x. I hope this makes sense, because think about this. We have to multiply in front of the parentheses multiplier to 4x and x, which will make 4x squared. What would be the next one? We're left with minus 4x. Please pay attention to the signs. This will be negative 1, because multiplying with 4x with negative 1 will give us negative 4x. Now we are done here. Now let's look at the next one. What can we use here? We still have to use a parentheses. However, it's only 1, right? There's nothing else common here. So I will rewrite this as x minus 1. Now, the next step will reveal why we write 1 here. We usually don't write 1 if it's just a parentheses, but we will have to regroup this entire phrase here, which will be as we will use 4x plus 1, and again, it's coming from this and this, and put them in the parentheses. And then what are the common ones here? We have x minus 1, which will be equal to 0. Now, from this, we are here to this, 4x plus 1, and x minus 1 equals to 0. What two values could there be that'll satisfy this equation, this trinomial, to be 0? The first one is 4x plus 1 equals to 0, and the other one is x minus 1 equals to 0. From here, we know that x equals to 1. This is our first solution set. The second one will be this. Let's subtract minus 1 from each side. 4x equals to negative 1, we will divide both sides by 4 to isolate the x, I'm sorry. And this will be x equals to -1/4. And this is our second solution set here.